You are always held with unconditional love. When you look up at the moon and stars, you can feel your soul's connection to the entire universe and all its beings. It's possible to make every decision with your mind, body, and spirit in total alignment and wholeness. I'm Divinely Jennifer, translating astrology and health in ways you've never experienced before so that you can choose the path that is right for you. And this is the Juicy Astrology for August 31st through September 6th, 2021, not including the new moon. Welcome. Beauties! Woo! Do you feel the change in the air? It's not just the weather. There is so much intensity out there right now. The visual I get is kind of silly, but here it goes. When your vintage jeans, which don't have spandex, are too tight, and you've just had a big meal with friends when you weren't even that hungry, you feel miserable from all the pressure. Do you go along with the party and suffer, feeling the gas build up but not telling anyone? Do you unbutton the top, hoping that your shirt will cover it up just to relieve a little pressure? Or do you say, screw it, and run home to rip off the jeans and put your sweats on, even though everyone else went out for drinks and dancing? This week, we feel a lot of pressure before the new moon on September 6th, or September 7th if you're in the UK or east of the UK. While we could look at pressure from the perspective of misery and discomfort, we could also approach it as an opportunity for change. Have you seen the two videos of the fire captains, one from Honolulu, the other from Los Angeles, making an emotional plea for their sovereignty? We already know these are courageous men as they put their lives on the line every day in service to their community and have for decades. And yet they have chosen to make an even more courageous choice by speaking up and speaking out, knowing the risk to their careers and families. In my eyes, they are heroes. Many in the US and other countries are being asked to choose between their education or their profession and their sovereignty right now. They're on a deadline. I don't like the word deadline, but this kind of feels like a death. That's Pluto in Capricorn, who is very active this week. It feels like an impossible choice. For some, it is. I send these beings so much love as they weigh Venus and Mercury in Libra, the consequences of their decisions in their work, the Sun and Mars in Virgo. The boundaries that matter most, Saturn, are the ones we create for ourselves. The good news is there are a lot of ideas swirling around in the air right now. Ideas with love, abundance for all, peace, and justice as the root. Put those pants on for a while and see how they feel. I'll take those pants over tight jeans and constriction any day of the week. The thing with sovereignty is only you can decide what is right for you. That's why I do these videos and audios. I want to empower you, also Pluto, to feel good in whatever you do, whatever choices you make, whatever your dreams and aspirations. I want you to know that the energy of the cosmos is here to support you so that you can do in this world what you came here to do. Doing what is right for ourselves is often one of the hardest actions we can take because of how it might impact the people we love or because we're afraid of being judged. But it can also have a ripple effect to help make this world a better place. This is not the time to give up, to throw up your hands and say, this is how it has to be. That is definitely not written in the stars. What the stars do tell us is to focus on our health, especially natural health. Set goals that make you excited. And if you need help figuring out where to focus, please book a session with me at www.divinelyjennifer.com so that we can tap into your divine cosmic blueprint and maximize the possibility. As I said last week, it's so much easier to go with the flow than going against the flow. I also have gift cards and I do couples readings. So if you want to give a session to someone, you can absolutely do that. And please do subscribe or like or comment to these videos, these audios, to my newsletters so we can get them out to as many people as possible. I love it when this information gets shared and empowers other people on their path. And with no further ado, here is the Juicy Astrology for August 31st through September 6th, 2021, up to, but not including the new moon in Virgo. She'll get her own video later this week. As always, all times listed are Pacific Daylight Time, so please adjust according to your time zone. Tuesday, August 31st. The waning moon in Gemini makes a T-square with Mars in Virgo and Pallas Athena and Neptune in Pisces in the early morning hours. The moon wants to have a party, but no one else will come. Mars is busy working, and Pallas and Neptune are still in bed dreaming. She goes void with a gorgeous trine to Jupiter in Aquarius at 1:48 p.m., asking us to write down our ideas. Be mindful of posting anything on social media that you don't want repeated, but do share fun and innovative ideas you're excited about. She moves into Cancer at 10:25 p.m., where she is nurturing, sensitive, empathic, and slightly moody. Mars in Virgo opposes Pallas Athena in Pisces at 9:29 p.m. They're both at 21 degrees 6 minutes. Normally, impatient Mars is willing to slow down for a moment to listen to the wisdom of Pallas Athena. Use this transit to make a detailed plan for taking care of your body. Wednesday, September 1st, the waning moon is in Cancer all day. She's stuck in the middle of all these hammers of Thor, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. You may be tempted to stay in your shell for the day, though the sun will try to coax you out for happy hour. Saturn in Aquarius trines Ceres in Gemini at 4:32 a.m. They're both at 8 degrees 6 minutes. This is part of the continuing grand trine in air we've been feeling off and on since August 20th. This transit reminds us that we are the master of our creativity and fertility. Sometimes conceiving, whether a child or ideas, takes some discipline and boundaries. Create a practice such as journaling to make sure you capture ideas as they come to you. The hammer of Thor, with the sun as the head of the hammer and Pluto in Capricorn square Eris and Aries as the base, comes exact in the afternoon. This is a major energy release to shine your light in service to the divine feminine versus being afraid of authorities and the government. We can only transform the old paradigms by speaking up and standing together. At the very least, please take a few moments to stand in solidarity with our friends in Australia who are practically under martial law. If it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. We have another hammer of Thor with the sun in Virgo, square Juno in Sagittarius as the base, and Eris and Aries as the head of the hammer. Eris has the potential to create chaos in relationships here. If you've managed to stay together with Juno conjunct the south node of fate all summer long, you'll get through this one as well. As I mentioned in the other two hammers peaking today, use your creativity and ideals in service to transform authoritarian ways. Create messy art, smash broken guitars, and scream to the music of your favorite punk metal band. It may not change the world, but it will sure feel good and keep you from lashing out at someone who doesn't deserve it. Thursday, September 2nd, the waning moon in Cancer has a busy day. While the morning sees her happier than yesterday, she has a very rough night when she goes void with an opposition to Pluto in Capricorn at 10:37 p.m. and then forms a T-square with Pluto and Eris in Aries, with Eris as the focal point. Still sore from her exact square with Pluto last week, the wounded feminine is hurting and angry. Be gentle with your loved ones and yourself. And that's the perfect antidote. Mars in Virgo follows Venus on August 9th and Mercury on August 24th, with his opposition to Neptune in Pisces at 10:42 a.m. They're both at 22 degrees 6 minutes. This transit has the potential to create some wild situations with water, flooding, storms, tsunamis, high waves, etc. There could also be conflict around some of the lies and delusions swirling around the collective. Tap into the higher vibe side of this transit, which is to see where your goals and habits with your health are out of alignment with your innermost intuition and inner knowing. Like, drinking half a bottle of wine every night means you have to double up on the coffee in the morning, which then upsets your stomach. And you know that stretching helps your low back pain, but you haven't made time for it. Take a bold or a baby step towards listening to your intuition. And if it feels too scary on your own, hop on over to my website at www.divinelyjennifer.com to book an astrology and health session with me so that we can tap into the inner wisdom of your divine cosmic blueprint. The Sun in Virgo squares Juno in Sagittarius at 7:48 p.m. They're both at 10 degrees 50 minutes. The Sun follows Venus on July 28th, Mars on August 12th, and Mercury on August 16th. This could be an ouch moment, it could be a glorious moment, or it could be both. Whatever it is time to shit or get off the pot in your intimate relationship. Are you ready to propose because the relationship is in service to your highest selves? Check, do it. Ready to move out because it's not in service to your highest selves? Check, it's time. This transit doesn't necessarily bring drastic change. Maybe you just need to move the bed to the other side of the room so the light is better in the morning to get you both out of bed. Remember that relationships are an adventure, but they also have to be in alignment with our body and soul. Friday, September 3rd, the waning moon enters expressive Leo at 8:58 a.m. She is proud, bold, colorful, and creative. If you set limits on your self-expression, make sure they are in alignment with your highest self. The moon is in a luscious mystic rectangle in the afternoon and evening hours with the North Node in Gemini, Saturn in Aquarius, and the South Node in Sagittarius, inviting us to tap into how our soul's path makes us feel. Take a moment to luxuriate in that feeling and then shine your light with it. Venus conjuncts Vesta at 12:50 a.m. at 21 degrees 16 minutes of Libra. Goddesses unite. Venus, the goddess of love, relationships, and abundance, comes together with Vesta, the goddess of the H's, home, health, hearth, and harvest, and also service, in Venus's home sign of relationships, peace, justice, and balance. This is a moment to set an intention in how you interact with others. Remember that old Bible expression, you reap what you sow? Well, on the surface, that may seem like a parable about farming and gardening. It's actually about manifestation and karma. What comes around goes around, and do unto others. How do you want your relationships to feel in your body and in your heart? We come back yet again to the theme of relationships. Not just intimate relationships this time, but really all of our connections with other beings, from our spouse to our children to our friends to the homeless man on the street, supporting our highest self and how we want to be of service in the world. Take a few moments to set an intention to show up as your highest self as much as you can. Likewise, this is a gorgeous transit to give an unconditional gift to someone as a way to manifest more abundance for both of you. If more people were willing to give and receive unconditional gifts, this would be a very different world. Mercury in Libra trines the North Node in Gemini and sextiles the South Node in Sagittarius at 6:18 a.m. They're all at 5 degrees 7 minutes. Hear ye, Mercury follows Venus from her trine with the North Node on August 21st. You've got the megaphone. Can you use it to call in new paradigms of love, justice, and fairness? Can you use your words to bring peace? This is a fated moment. Pay attention to any messages you receive and be very intentional around your own language, especially with the Venus-Vesta conjunction today. With this trine between Mercury in Libra and the North Node in Gemini, we start to feel the energy of the grand trine in air that is with us through the new moon on September 6th or 7th, depending on your time zone and where you are in the world. With Mercury, the North Node in Ceres in Gemini, and Saturn in Aquarius. Just as the grand trine in Venus asks us to commit to a new social paradigm of peace, love, and abundance for all, this one asks us to commit to giving that new paradigm voice, birthing this paradigm with others. I'll speak more about that over the next few days as Mercury trines both Saturn and Ceres exactly. Saturday, September 4th, the waning moon is in Leo all day. In the early morning hours, she forms a delicious grand trine in fire with Juno in Sagittarius and Chiron in Aries, reminding us that our intimate relationships can thrive and heal when we can be ourselves. She also makes another juicy mystic rectangle, this one with Jupiter in Aquarius, Eris in Aries, and Venus and Vesta in Libra. How is your soul called to express the essence of you so that you can shine a light from a place of love, service, and spunk? She's in her dark phase now before the new moon. Consider completing projects, but don't start anything new until the new moon on September 6th. Mercury in Libra trines Saturn in Aquarius at 6:30 p.m. They're both at 7 degrees 54 minutes. Mercury follows Venus from her trine with Saturn on August 23rd. Mercury in Libra has a lot to say, so Saturn gives him a little structure and focus. There is so much polarity in the world right now. If we choose to commit to the new paradigm of love and abundance, it also means that we have to set boundaries around the language and communication we give and receive, which Saturn helps us do. We can't engage in the toxic fear-mongering that is out there. That can be hard when it's so pervasive. We say one negative thing, and the next thing we know, we're on a rant. Call in the highest energy of Saturn in Aquarius, that of being your own master within the collective. Be accountable for what you hear and what you say. We are all sovereign, and we are all one. Sunday, September 5th, the waning moon in Leo is so in love and may go a little overboard with her expressions when she goes void at 7:21 a.m. with an opposition to Jupiter. Maybe wait to get a tattoo or cut off your long locks and shave your head until after the new moon. She's void all day until she goes into the reverent, discerning, maternal, and health-conscious Virgo at 4:05 p.m. Venus, the love goddess, has a tough day, as if she stepped in spiritual dog shit that someone left on her path. She was walking along, head up high, and then squish right into the poo. You can either hose off your shoe right away, or you can let it get caked and gross and stink up your path and your garage. It's up to you. Let's talk about what's going on. First, she's in the middle of a hammer of Thor as she approaches her square to Pluto in Capricorn with a sesquiquadrate to Ceres as the focus of the hammer. We'll start to feel the energy of this the night before. What's the energy? Well, we all know that stress can have a negative impact on our creativity, fertility, and ability to conceive. What's happening out in the world feels so unfair sometimes, but we're not powerless. Literally dig your heels into the dirt, the sand, the mud, a bag of potting soil, whatever earth you have nearby. Ground into the presence of Mother Earth and feel into her power. No matter what we humans might think, she is still the boss. Luckily, the transit dissipates early in the morning. But Venus is also in a T-square throughout the new moon as she squares Pluto in Capricorn and then quickly opposes Eris in Aries. The T-square comes exact between 8:06 p.m. and 9:42 p.m. with Pluto as the focus. Venus is the first of the planets traveling through Libra to make this transit. And this is likely to be the gentlest. It's like a sneak preview for what's coming. Vesta follows next week, and then Mercury will follow suit just in time for the full moon and autumn equinox. And in fact, will make this T-square 3 times. I mean, that is just the shit drying on your shoe right there. So hose it off every time you can. Likewise, the Sun and Mars will get into the ring in mid-October, just as Mercury is stationing direct after his retrograde in Libra. I'll talk more about their T-squares when we get there, but in the meantime, let's focus on Venus, because as always, there is a light side and a shadow side to this transit, and we all want to make the best of it. So Venus first squares Pluto in Capricorn at 8:06 p.m. at 24 degrees 31 minutes, and then opposes Eris in Aries at 24 degrees 36 minutes. Venus is in a sign that she rules, so I feel like she's really going to stand her ground with Pluto, even as authoritarian systems attempt to steal more power from the people. Venus says, "Oh, really? No, I'm going to love everyone, no matter their color, race, country of origin, gender identity, sexual identity, net worth, vaccine status, weight, height, zip code, etc." There is conflict, but Pluto will blink first if we can stand in the power of our love and sovereignty. Take action by loving and accepting all beings unconditionally. That's the biggest FU to the powers that be. Then Venus sees Eris across the way in feisty, independent Aries, who is still stewing over her own square with Pluto on August 27th. Eris offers to beat the crap out of Pluto, to drop a proverbial grenade in the pants of every soul who has ever used their power to harm another being. Venus has the power to say, "No, I want peace. Warfare is not going to help our cause for a new paradigm of love and abundance." But she's a little undecisive at the moment because she's in Libra. Can you decide on love? Can you choose love? Eris might accuse Venus of being soft-hearted, but she'll back down if Venus can hold her ground, tapping into the light side of transformative Pluto. My friend Christina is really the personification of Venus in this transit. I admire her so much. She's been fighting for sovereignty and health freedom ever since I met her almost 15 years ago. But she doesn't fight with weapons, and she doesn't hate on people, ever. Instead, she advocates by tirelessly empowering people with peaceful tools that are based on law and justice, Libra. Even when people are hating on each other and calling for bigger guns, Christina holds her ground to promote justice for all because it's the right thing to do. Make the love choice now, because Mars will want to fight in October. He won't choose love. And Mars is mixed up in this energy too, by the way. He's forming a yod starting today through the 8th with Jupiter in Aquarius, sextile Eris and Aries. He's got to make adjustments to his health and routine in order to be of service to the collective and the divine feminine. If he wants to work out and get stronger, he's got to make the time for it. Life can't be all work and no working out. Eris may want to taunt him for the heck of it. I'm a little concerned about this yod and will explain more when I get to the astrology for September 6th. Let's finish up today first, though. Mercury in Libra is definitely going with the flow right now, and he's helping to bring some clarity to our thoughts and ideas. He forms a biquintile to Uranus and Taurus at 9:09 a.m. He has an aha moment of inspiration, and he just has to figure out how to phrase it. Then he trines Ceres and Gemini at 2:08 p.m. They're both at 8 degrees 56 minutes. Ceres inspires him to get creative and nurture this new idea, which may be around balance, fairness, love, finances, or innovations in how we address the unjust systems of the world. Get pen to paper, draw, speak into your phone. Take the time to conceive of this juicy new paradigm. You can give it more life and nurturing after the new moon. And finally, Monday, September 6th, the waning moon in Virgo has her cyclical T-square to the nodes of fate. Take note of how you're feeling if you wake in the night. The new moon forms at 5:52 p.m., which we'll discuss in the next Juicy Astrology. But this is a monumental day astrologically, even without the new moon. We have one of the most concerning aspects in astrology, and we also have one of the most beautiful. First, Mars in Virgo makes a trine to Pluto in Capricorn at 5:19 a.m. They're both at 24 degrees 31 minutes. Normally, a trine provides really positive energy flow. However, it's rarely a good thing when Mars and Pluto make any aspect. We often feel these Mars transits in the 3 to 5 days before they go exact. So expect the unexpected between September 1st and September 6th, especially given how involved the astrology is this week. The last 2 times Mars has trined Pluto, the US has bombed another country, Syria and Afghanistan, killing at least 50, including 30 civilians. And with what's happening in Afghanistan right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we did it again. There could be a celebrity death or even victory for a major court case involving health, the environment, the government, or all of the above. You may also get some news about your own health that makes you angry, or you may finally be inspired to create goals for your health over the next several months, perhaps because you got some bad news about your health. Given the yacht I mentioned yesterday, with Mars as the focus in adjusting energy to Jupiter and Eris, I do have concerns about what could happen in the collective today and in the few days prior, given the level of vitriol that continues to build around mandates and masks, and lockdowns too for some countries. Can there possibly be a high vibration to this energy? The answer is yes, always. First of all, if your schedule allows, get out into nature at least once, or preferably every day between the 1st and the 6th of September. Swim, hike, lie on the ground under a tree, go for a bike ride, mow the lawn, pick berries or apples at a you-pick farm, whatever nourishes your spirit most and makes you feel delightfully healthy. For our friends in Australia who aren't even supposed to be going outside, at least try to take a bath or listen to some music, or do something that nourishes your soul. Even repot your favorite plant, stick your hands in dirt, play with vegetables, anything you possibly can to feel that connection to nature. Second, I will forever remind you that, despite the mainstream narrative, you control your health. It is your body. You do not have to consent to any medical procedures or pharmaceutical or even diets that do not align with your spirit. There is a way to protect your sovereignty. Granted, that might mean making hard decisions about where you live and work. I didn't say the path was going to be easy, but you are not alone on this journey. Get together in community, especially given the next transit, where the voices of many have more power than the voice of one. The next transit is one of the best in astrology. It's like a love bomb. Venus in Libra trines Jupiter in Aquarius at 6:05 a.m. They're both at 25 degrees exactly. Can you feel how loving the universe is? Venus and Jupiter are considered the benefics of all the planets because they generally bring love and good fortune wherever they travel. Here we have Jupiter representing all that is good about the age of Aquarius, the innovation, community, science merging with spirituality. Right now, we're at a point in the world where there's a chasm between science and spirituality, but ultimately we can and will bring them together in service to the greater good of the collective. And then Venus represents all that is good about life, love, connection, balance, peace, abundance for all. They're both in air signs, breathing oxygen and ideas into all that is good and can be good in the world. If you have faith in the beauty that is possible, you can manifest it, because that's how the universe works. And finally today, before the new moon, Mercury enters his retrograde shadow at 1:05 p.m. at 10 degrees, 7 minutes, 34 seconds of Libra. This is the place where Mercury will station direct on October 18th. We'll really feel the energy in this part of our natal chart and in the collective cosmos until he clears his shadow on November 2nd at 25 degrees, 28 minutes, 25 seconds of Libra. So what that means is he will station retrograde on September 26th at 25 degrees, 28 minutes of Libra, and he'll move back to 10 degrees, 7 minutes, 34 seconds of Libra when he goes direct again on October 18th. And he'll get back to that 28 degree, 28 minute mark on November 2nd. You'll start to experience whatever lessons around communication you need to learn during his retrograde now. So pay attention to any communication that comes your way or that you put out into the world, as it may need 1 to 2 revisions. Okay, my loves, this is it for Monday, September 6th until the new moon in Virgo occurs at 5:52 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. As always, the new moon will get its own juicy astrology reading so that you can set your intentions for your best self. If you want to know where the new moon falls in your natal chart, please send me an email at hello@divinelyjennifer.com with your birth date, birth location, birth time, as close as you know it, and where you currently reside. And I'll send you a chart with your birth info and the new moon, and a little explanation of what it all means. Likewise, you are always welcome to book an astrology and health session with me right on my website, www.divinelyjennifer.com. Our divine cosmic blueprint gives us so many clues for how we can keep ourselves healthy, healing and healthy by following our natural rhythms and the rhythm of the cosmos. This has been the Juicy Astrology for August 31st through September 6th, up until the new moon. Please subscribe on YouTube or sign up for my mailing list right on my website to make sure that it gets delivered right into your inbox. In the meantime, I'm sending you so much love. I'm Divinely Jennifer.